We have huge supply chain shortages coming. And I say this to be strategic. I'm not trying to spread fear. It's just a fact of the matter. We're going to be seeing unprecedented hiccups in our supply chain, our economy, our food supply. As of now, I just want to go over some factual things. So all we're seeing is ships sitting in the harbor that can't unload. And that's what people think the extent of it is. And that's just one part of it. So really what's going on is we do have the labor shortages here at the ports. We have delays getting the ships unloaded. That's also caused other problems where we've already had a surplus of empty containers here that haven't been able to get loaded on ships to go back for multiple reasons. One of the reasons is the ports in China are shut down. They're having huge COVID lockdowns now, so they don't have the workforce and it's hard for a ship to even come or go. We're building up a surplus of empty containers over here, which A, we don't have the storage space for them all. B, China needs those in order to ship us new stuff when they are able to ship us stuff. So that's causing another lag in the supply chain. Because of that, we also have a shortage of those chassis that the containers sit on. When they pull them off the port, they put them on this metal chassis on wheels that hooks up to a semi truck. And we're at a huge shortage of those too. So we can't even move the containers around that we have. That alone, just that entire container circle that's not actually being fulfilled right now is a huge catastrophe for the supply chain. But there's more on top of that. So China's having resurgence of a pandemic out there, it seems like, and they're having lockdowns and whatnot. So ships aren't able to get in and out of the ports as easily. And not only that, they don't have the workforce over there to load the ships quickly enough. Again, as I mentioned, they don't have all the containers over there to even get the goods and products loaded in order to get those loaded into the ships. Now that's like a core aspect of the supply chain. And I use that example of getting finished goods to America, but that same concept holds true throughout the world for raw materials too, if not worse, because of the conflicts that's happening in Eastern Europe. So we're seeing the sanctions causing us to not be able to properly trade, which Eastern Europe supplies 30% of the world's wheat, and we're having a shortage on that in general. We're also having hiccups on our planting schedule in America. So the weather out here this year has caused the seasonal planting, which is right now at this time of the year. There's been delays and setbacks in that. So most likely we're not going to have the same crop production as we normally do here in America, which will also affect other areas of the world too. And I've heard this about other countries. I know Brazil is a big agricultural producer, and there's a few other countries, but there's either, whether that be supply chain effects, pandemic issues, or weather issues, there's a lot of other shortages in crop production this year. So that's another thing to add onto the equation. We got the crop production issues, we got the supply chain issues, and after that, we haven't even begun to get into the economic or the inflation issues. So we're seeing a squeeze on the economies. We're seeing runaway inflation, which we're being told is getting under control, but what happens if it's not? And that's where you really got to go through the mental exercise of wondering, where will that lead us to if we can't get inflation under control? Even if we're at 8.5% right now, and we have all this other turmoil coming down the pipeline, supply chain shortages, food shortages, etc. What do you think that's going to do further to the economic situation? So when we get into larger inflation numbers, we're going to be feeling this squeeze even more. Now, we're already feeling it with gas prices too. Now, that plays into a whole nother host of issues, because now families and people on lower incomes are driving less. So that could cause them to want to go grocery shopping once a month rather than once a week, or, twice a month. So they're going to buy more stuff at once, potentially, if they can afford it, which is going to take more stuff off the shelves. People will go into the stores, psychologically get scared because they see empty shelves, and then it brings back those memories from the first pandemic in the grocery stores. So people are going to start hoarding what is available right now, and then we don't have the supply chains robust enough to replenish those supplies. So it's going to be something that spirals out of control quickly, potentially. And that's why it's good to stay prepared ahead of time. A simple solution to that is every time you go to the grocery store, buy some non-perishable goods, make sure they're as healthy as possible. Just keep some on hand, because that's one thing that we don't have. Our economy is built on just-in-time supply chain, meaning we only have 2 to 3 to 4 days worth of what we need in the stores for that population to repurchase what they need in the next few days. So what I'm saying is the supplies in the stores will be depleted quick. So if you are looking into any of these details, it's pretty clear to see that we're going to be running into some form of a slowdown in numerous ways, both economically, production wise, with our supply chain, food wise. So we need to prepare for these as best as possible. What I'm not wanting to do is spread fear here. What I am doing is being realistic about the situation. It would be silly, if not stupid, to continue going about life as everything's normal and then be surprised when there's even worse supply chain shortages and inflation, economic issues. So I'd rather prepare a little bit ahead of time, not be caught off guard, and hope that I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, then that's fine. I can, donate some of the extra food I have. Any form of savings is definitely good to have. We will see a lot of good deals to purchase in terms of businesses, assets, even down to vehicles and stuff like that. We'll be seeing people need to liquidate their valuables. So if you are in a position to have an abundance of cash, you will find really good deals coming into these markets. And these markets, historically, downturns in economies create the next generations of millionaires and billionaires, because you get into these amazing deals in these economic downturns. To paint the silver lining to this, you can prepare yourself to weather the storm. You can prepare yourself to take advantage of the economic opportunities that are created from it. And in turn, by taking advantage of those economic opportunities, most likely you're also helping others that are less fortunate than you. So let's say if you're buying an apartment building that's foreclosed and you're a quality landlord and you're gonna refurbish it and maintain that housing property for people to live in, you're providing homes for people. And we're also in a housing shortage as well. These are all ways that you can try to follow back your decisions and see how you can make these decisions to enhance and help other people's lives and humanity in the world, rather than just enrich yourself. And by helping other people at the same time, you benefit as well. To be clear, we're talking about supply chain shortages and preparing for those. On top of that, we have the gas shortages. We have fuel is super high. Natural gas, that's a big deal in terms of heating our houses and other forms of electrical generation too. So that's all stuff that we're all hearing about right now. We just got to take these things into account, and we got to prepare for what's to come. And no one knows what's to come. No one has a crystal ball. So don't feel like you're crazy for preparing for, what there is coming down the pipeline, because we can all see it. Just look at any market right now, any technical analyst in the stock market, in the crypto market, in the real estate market, you'll see that there's transitions happening right now. And those transitions are, like I said, creating new opportunities. Always keep a positive mindset. Always try to enhance lives of people around you, and that in turn will enhance your life. And just prepare for the situation we got to come. And let's hope that it doesn't affect as many people as it potentially could. Let's hope that we can help as many people prepare and be ready to weather the storm. And not only that, but come out ahead. So I'd like to leave you with that and leave this on a positive note, and make sure that you guys are aware that we have huge opportunities coming up, and we just got to maintain our positive mindset, take care of our families and loved ones, and provide safety, shelter, and security. We'll get out of this. We'll get through it. That's what we do. We adapt. And that's why we're, as humans, the greatest species on earth. Anyway, check out the website below, hichris.com. You'll get a lot of great info on there. Join our free Zoom calls every Sunday, 11 a.m. California time, Pacific time. And make sure to like, subscribe, and comment on the YouTube video. I respond to all the comments myself, so ask any questions or leave any comments you got. Thanks again for watching.